John from the training room again. Today I want to talk about lower back exercises. Lately it seems like I've seen a lot of articles, a lot of videos about the best 5 lower back exercises, or do these exercises to strengthen your lower back. It really is a misguided mindset, and if I'm being blunt, that's a nice way to put it. Misguided. It's actually a little worse than that. But we need to back up a little bit and just kind of explain. I want to explain very quickly how the lower back works and how your body works in real life, not just when you're exercising at the gym, when you're actually picking something up, like you're playing with your kids, you're grabbing groceries, you're moving stuff around or whatever. When you go to squat, lunge, bend, pick something up, what's supposed to happen is your hips are supposed to flex and your hips are supposed to extend to get you up and down. So if I went to pick something up, my hips would have to flex. And then when I go to stand, my hips have to extend to bring me up. And again, if I went to, my dogs are here, if I went to play with my dog, my hips would have to flex to grab my dog, and then to stand, my hips would have to extend. If for some reason you don't have enough mobility in your hips to do that, your lower back has to do the movement for the hips. It's take over for the hips. So instead of this happening with the hip, the flexion and the extension, the low back flexes on the way down and then extends on the way up. So if I go to pick something up, this is happening and that's happening. Instead of this, it's that. That puts a lot of pressure on the lower back. It's not designed to do that. So it's forcing the musculature to handle a load it's not designed to do. That's where that tension and tightness and discomfort comes from. If I go to if I go to reach for something or rotate or twist, like if I go to grab something over here, my upper torso, my shoulder blades, my thoracic spine is supposed to rotate and reach. So if I'm reaching for something in the cabinet, or if I'm going to push, if I go to shut my car door and I have to do that, or if I'm going to leave here and I go to rotate like that, this has to do that to be able to rotate. I need to be mobile up here. If for some reason I don't have that kind of coordination or that kind of mobility here, again, the lower back will take over. So instead of that, it'll be the lower back doing that. Instead of this, it'll be the lower back doing that. So again, if this is not working the way it's supposed to, the lower back ends up taking on the work of the upper back as well, which again creates, that's my dog, sorry about that, which then creates more tension and muscular strain here. Now, all that motion in the lower back is what causes vertebrae issues, is what causes herniated discs. They're not supposed to move. So when they do move like that and like this and like that, that's where injuries come from. That's on a micro level. On a macro level, the tension I spoke of, where it's just, the feeling, where it feels like you need to stretch it or you need a massage or something like that, like burning, spasming, that's just because it's doing more than it's supposed to. It's doing this because the hips are not working, or it's doing that because the thoracic spine of the shoulder blade is not working. So then, to take lower back exercises, and I'm going to give you a few visuals, but to take lower back exercises, and I see things like this all the time, where people are literally lying down and doing this, or they're on a stability ball and doing that, where they take something and they put it on their back and they're twisting like this. Those motions are the exact same motions that cause the pain in the first place. So when I was squatting and demonstrating before doing that, that's what those exercises were. They're doing that, they're doing that, they're doing that. That's causing the issue. It's nonsensical to say, hey, if X is causing pain, the way to get rid of it is to do more X. It makes no sense. You shouldn't be doing lower back exercises. The analogy I use is that's like if you had skin cancer and your dermatologist said, go to the beach for the day with no sunblock to fix it. It makes no sense. The way to alleviate back pain is to get the hips to work. So if your hips can't do this, train them to do that. Or if your thoracic spine and scapula aren't supposed to move the way they're supposed to, get them to do that. This way your lower back is not flexing and extending and twisting and rotating, which is where the pain comes in the first place. The saying we like to use around here is that there's water on the floor, you look at the ceiling, not the floor, okay? Think about addressing the issue, not the symptom. Any questions, let me know. Thanks.